Hey there all YouTubers. Today it's the video response for MrMegaFred Zeppelin's music tag. Fred would like to know your favorite kind of music. Well, for me it would be metal. Favorite guitar players? Well, that would start off with Tony Iommi, Ritchie Blackmore, Robin Trower, Yngwie Malmsteen, Joe Bonamassa, Steve Vai, and Gary Moore. If you ever seen Gary Moore do his version of Roy Buchanan's Messiah Will Come, it'll make you cry. He's just an amazing guitar player. And you could throw in Paul Gilbert, great guitar player, and Glenn Tipton, K.K. Downing, those two, and Andy LaRocque, and Michael Denner, great guitar players. There's a lot of them. Alright, let's see. Bassist. Well, Gene Simmons, Geezer Butler, big influence for me. John Entwistle. Then you go to Steve Harris. You have Billy Sheehan, and a couple bass players that were just cool. Roger Glover, Deep Purple, and Jimmy Bain from Rainbow, and Dennis Dunaway, original bass player for Alice Cooper. Very cool bass players. And then my all-time #1 favorite bass player is Joey DeMeo from Man of War. And the drummers, you got to go with Bill Ward. The guy was a beast, a total beast on the drums. He just pounded those drums. And you have to go with Mickey D of King Diamond. And then when he started playing for Motorhead, he just took him to a new level. Playing with Lemmy and the guys, and he's just amazing. Scott Columbus, Man of War. You have Dave Lombardo. And you have Paul Bostaff and Gene Hoglan. And then probably the #1 guy for me is Rhino. Rhino for Man of War. He just pounds. And alright, favorite vocalist? Well, got to start with Ian Gillan. Ian Gillan, then Dio, Graham Bonnet. Graham Bonnet is amazing vocalist. And Halford of the Priest, and that record he did with Fight, great stuff. And I like John Oliver, Savatage, Chris Cornell. Stuff he did with Audio Slave was amazing. And who else do I have here? I said John Bush. Ian Astbury, The Cult. He's just a cool factor vocalist. And Blackie Lawless, that voice is just metal. He's cool. Ray Adler of Fate's Warning. The Tyrant from Jag Panzer. And I'm going to throw in Jeff Hatrix from Mushroom Head. I mean, come on. He's cool. And probably the all-time favorite vocalist, and just on a different level, is Eric Adams from Man of War. Forget about it. He's amazing. Okay, so now Fred wants to know some of the favorite bands. Well, gotta go with Sabbath, Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow, Priest, Maiden, Megadeth, early Metallica, Testament, Savatage, Fate's Warning, Trouble with Eric Wagner on vocals. Great stuff. Merciful Fate, King Diamond, Audio Slave, Ministry. One of my new favorite metal bands out there is The Sword. And let's throw in a couple hardcore bands. I like a little bit of hardcore there. Sick of It All. Sick of It All would be my #1 hardcore band. And Propane with Gary Meskill. That guy, you want to hear a hardcore singing voice right there. And all-time metal band of all time for me is Manowar, without a doubt. Alright, where are we at? Oh, one thing about me and music that no one would know. Well, I don't listen to metal 24/7 all the time. I actually like oldies. Oldies of 50s and 60s. Oldies doo-wop. I like rockin' rhythm and blues. Old stuff. I mean, I put it on nice and soft. I don't have to have loud. I can't listen to loud 24/7 anymore. This stuff just relaxes me. I like Howlin' Wolf. I like Big Joe Turner. I like Wynonie Harris. I mean, Little Richard. That kind of stuff. But yeah, I listen very soft music. Oldies doo-wop. Alright, and my buddy Green Bastard, he added a couple more questions to this music tag. He wanted to know favorite keyboard players. Well, John Lord, got to go with John Lord, and I really like Jens Johansson from Malmsteen's Rising Force. He's a great keyboard player. And I like John Oliva, the work he did with Savatage. Yeah. And just for fun, I got to throw in the guy from Mushroom Head, Tom Smits. That's just cool stuff that he does. And let's see. Alright, and Green Bastard wants to know top 10 studio albums. Alright, well, I got probably 100 top studio albums, but we'll kind of cut it down, limit it. But Black Sabbath. I mean, what can you say about that? Let's throw in first Rainbow, Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow Rising. You could throw that in. Deep Purple, Perfect Strangers. Motorhead, Another Perfect Day. Love this record. And Alcatraz, Graham Bonnet, Yngwie. Megadeth, Peace Sells. This was a big metal record. Made a big impact. And Queensryche, Rage for Order. Great stuff. Like that record. And Savatage, Streets, a rock opera. All the Savatage stuff is great, but if I had to pick one, this one, Gutter Ballet. I mean, all their stuff is great. And King Diamond, Abigail. This is a great record. Production on it, songs, everything. Great. Pretty much all the Testament, but The Gathering. This was a huge record for me. The Gathering. Dave Lombardo on drums. This one. Every single Mushroom Head, but let's go with the very first Mushroom Head. Love this record. And all the Manowar, of course, but the production on Kings of Metal, it's pristine production. It's just so clear. You could turn this up to 12 and it would still sound crystal clear. Amazing record. Great songs. And the number one record, metal record for me is Man of War, Triumph of Steel. Rhino on drums, David Schenkel on guitar, Joey DeMeo on bass, and the number one, the king, Eric Adams, on vocals. Well, there you have it, folks. Thanks, Fred. This was fun. You rock, brother. Metal on.